What up, Bucs fans? Welcome back to another one of my reactions. A tough loss for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A loss that we probably could have seen coming, but a lot of us were in denial, thinking, we were going to go 17-0. I wasn't in that bandwagon, but I know a lot of fans were. So a lot of fans are really disappointed and worried. But before I get into my reaction of this game, I am Ramy B. If you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below, and let's get into it. So, also, if you see me looking to the side, I have stats and things up just so I'm accurate in the things that I'm saying. But we did lose 34-24 to the Los Angeles Rams. The score is probably closer than what the game actually looked like. We did have 446 total yards of offense while they had 407. But we did have a lot of issues in the game, especially on the defensive side. So I want to say overall we have 7 penalties for 41 yards in this game. And I know coming into this game we were, I think, second or third worst in the NFL in penalties, which is crazy because the second half of last year, especially after that Bears game, we became one of the best teams in terms of penalties. So I don't know what really happened there, but I think the coaching staff really has to go back in and really sit down with the team and start working on discipline, because a lot of these penalties are costing us first downs, touchdowns, and opportunities to get off the field that we're losing, especially on the defensive side. But let me get into the statistics. So Brady was 41-55 for 432 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. Again, only 14 incompletions. I think Brady played as best of a job as he could have, considering that we were missing Antonio Brown. We did miss Gronk for a little bit. We had Giovanni Bernard. He got hurt in the end, but I'll talk about that later. Brady did all that he could. I think there was a lot of pressure on the offense, especially considering that the Rams were scoring at will on the defense, or when we were on defense. Our defense literally didn't put up a fight. So I feel like Brady had a lot of pressure to try to get the ball down and try to score and things like that. And, he did the best that he could. I mean, it is what it is on that end. For rushing, I was saying last video that, maybe we don't need to rush as much, but I think we do need to have some kind of a threat of a rush. Brady was our leading rusher, 3 rushes for 14 yards. Leonard Fournette had 4 for 8. Rojo 5 for 11. Godwin had 1 for 2 and 1 touchdown. I don't really consider that like we're rushing to get a first down or anything like that. That's kind of like a trick type of play or whatever. But the running game really definitely has to improve. We can't have, what is that, total 20-something, 30-something yards of total rushing as a team. That's definitely, unacceptable for a team with this many weapons. Especially, we have so many receiving weapons, and defenses should be keyed in on the receivers. It should open up the box a little bit. So I don't, they need to figure out something with that. But going down to the receiving end, Mike Evans 8 catches for 106 yards, Godwin 6 for 74, Gronk 4 for 55, Giovanni 9 for 51 and a touchdown, Brait 4 for 35, and Leonard 3 for 26. So Tyler Johnson had a pretty big game too as well, especially in the fourth quarter. Evans, again, being our number 1 guy, is always going to, give him the ball, good things are going to happen. Godwin has been Mr. Reliable this whole season. I think he's been averaging, I think he's our leading receiver overall in terms of yardage this season. He's getting a good 60 to 80, 90 yards a game so far, I think, if we average it out. Giovanni Bernard actually did produce on the offensive side, especially in the passing game, which to me, I feel like now this is a sign that the coaching staff need to put Bernard in more often in passing down. I know he's a little bit smaller in terms of blitz pickup and things like that, but the things he can do on his feet when we do give him the ball is much more valuable than I think Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones. He seems much quicker in terms of like shiftiness and everything, much faster, and he can definitely read the field a little bit better, it seems like. He did have that 1 screen pass he took for 30-something yards. He seems to have way more reliable hands. The touchdown at the end was good to kind of get him in the end zone, but definitely hurt us with his injury. Like, was it really worth getting that touchdown in the end? I know people online saying Brady kind of led him to that injury. I don't believe so. He caught it and ran like 3-4 yards before he got hit, and it seemed like the injury was more like on the jump, flip, and land. But definitely, I want to see him more involved in the passing game just because he can do a lot of things that Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones can't. On the defensive side, the defense literally did nothing. Golston had 1 sack, but it was way too late in the game. No pressure at all up front. There was one drive, I think the Rams' first or second touchdown drive, that was like 95 yards or whatever it was. I think they had like 7 straight passes of less than 8 yards because, these quarterbacks are taking 3-step drops, and then our corners are playing way off. So all the short game is available for them, and they just keep, dumping it off to their little, receivers and all that, and it's working. Matthew Stafford was 27-38 for 343 and 4 touchdowns. Their run game pretty much non-existent. Sonny Michel 20 rushes for 67 yards. I think it was like 3.1 yards per carry or something like that. Deshaun Jackson, I did not want him to get any balls, but he got 3 catches, 120 yards and a touchdown, especially on a blown coverage in the start of the second half with a a bomb touchdown. Cooper Kupp 9 for 96 and 2 touchdowns. Not mad at it. He shreds every defense. He's very, very shifty and very quick. Hard to kind of keep him contained. Higbee 5 for 40 and a touchdown. Jefferson and Woods combined for 7 catches for 75 yards. But the defense is clearly the problem. Jamel Dean went down. They said it was a knee injury and he was out for the game. Who knows how long he's going to be out. But I think now for sure we have to sign Richard Sherman, because we cannot afford to go into our future games with this short of a secondary. There was even a couple plays where I saw Devin White running out wide to play corner. I don't know if it was because the running back went out. I don't remember the exact situation, but we can't have him out there. And I did see him in one of Cooper Kupp's touchdowns. I think his second touchdown, Devin White was on him. Like, that should never happen at all. But overall, I think that the defense really we have to figure something out. Todd Bowles has to go back into the drawing board, figure out a way to get the pass rush home. If teams are doing the 3-step drop, we need to play press coverage and jam them up at the line so we can't give up those easy completions. We can't keep giving up the short ball, because what happens is you start giving up the short ball, corners are going to be falling for the double moves and things like that, and then you're going to get beat deep. But overall, yeah, defense needs to step up. It seems like this season our biggest weakness is the defense. Our offense has definitely been carrying us, and you know, there's going to be some games where the offense can't carry us and drop 40 every game, so definitely something that we need to work on. But either way, this is nothing to be worried about. They are one of our 2 toughest matchups this season, them and the Bills that we're playing like week 14 or 15. Again, it was irresponsible to think we're going to go 17-0 now that pressure's gone, but I'm not too worried about it. I think, you know, you're going to face a team that's really good, and people are saying it's them versus us for the NFC representation in the Super Bowl, and people think this was a preview to the championship game, so I'm not really worried about that. Next week we play the Patriots. They got beat by the Saints today. Jameis Winston beat them, and I think next week is, you know, going to be a big game, and I think we're going to beat them in New England. I don't see them really stopping Brady. After seeing them these last 3 weeks, they have literally no offense. Their offense doesn't look good, but I do want to be a little careful because our defenses historically have always been shredded by rookie quarterbacks, so fingers crossed on that one, but I think we should be able to pull that off. And again, like I said, I'm not worried about this game. It seems like historically the 3 teams we struggle against the most is the Rams, the Bears, and the Giants. We are playing all 3 of them this year, so we'll see. But, you know, the Rams are actually a legit contender with Matthew Stafford. I knew he was going to make them much more explosive and dangerous. But, yeah, defense has to get it back together. Now, I know we cleared up some space on the offensive. We cleared up some space by like reworking, I think it was Ali Marpet's contract or somebody on the offensive line, and that's opening up some space. So I definitely think we're going to have Richard Sherman into the building Monday or Tuesday and sign him because we need as much help. He's not going to solve the issues, but at least he's going to plug a hole and maybe allow Todd Bowles to do some different things and not have to, you know, put all his resources out into the secondary or try to all-out blitz and just pray that it's going to get there. But yeah, that's my review for the game, my reaction. Please comment down below what you think of the defense and what options you think we have to improve this defense, because if it wasn't for the defense giving up 4 or 5 straight scoring drives to the Rams, we would definitely be in this game and it would be a whole different turnout. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, and as always, let's go Bucs. Let's go beat the shit out of the Patriots next Sunday night, and let's get this dub. 2-1. We're tied for second place in the division with the Saints, as the Carolina Panthers are first. I know they're going to have a tougher schedule starting next week. They're playing Dallas and a couple other Minnesota and a couple other tougher teams. So yeah, the division is still technically wide open, but I think in a month and a half, we're going to start seeing how the hierarchy is going to go in the division. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and as always, let's go Bucs. I am out.
Let's go! You a Buccaneer fan? Let me know. Let me know. We about to